Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm Fritz.
And we're here to give you this week's reading recommendations on New Comic Book Day. And it's another massive release week. It was a relief to be done receiving it all because it was a lot of books to bring in and a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I read a ton yesterday. This morning. So, let's dive right in. And we've got... a good Godzilla book.
Yeah, so I picked, you're maybe sensing a theme these last 2 weeks. I've got Godzilla Dead Zone issue 2. This is again part of the whole Kaisei thing they're doing.
Yep.
And so this book, with the name as you guys, it's kind of like this area where kaiju stuff has happened. The U.S. government's just like, we're not going to bother with this. You're all on your own. And so we're following this guy. We only know him as the Wanderer so far. And last issue, he ran into these kids who seem to be able to either become or control kaiju. It was kind of so unclear.
Yeah.
But then in this issue, they get captured by this church or cult, or where it's kind of both. People can debate that. But so
it's post-apocalyptic in that they're living in an area that's been killed off by kaiju and the kaiju radiation.
Yeah, but so this church, they worship Godzilla, which if you lived in a world where you saw a thing that could just level a city without a thought, you might think that's a god.
Yeah,
that's understandable
for sure.
And we're not exactly sure what their whole kind of end game is so far, because they definitely are interested in the Wanderer and the children, both in terms of just how they connect to the kaiju. To them, they're because they can do that, there's something special about them. But there's that burp from before.
Oh, there you go.
Huzzah! But at the same time, they definitely they don't exactly worship these guys either. They seem to want to use them to some ends.
Sure.
What exactly that has to do with them worshiping Godzilla is kind of unclear. But you see how, because they're one of the only things in the Deadlands that's kind of offering some escape to these people, that they're starting to draw in more and more. We've got this. I don't know if this is going to be a character that shows up more, but there's just this random guy who's just kind of chilling on the street, and then someone's just hey, you want to come to our meeting? He's just sure, why not? I got nothing better to do. He's just kind of throughout the book, just kind of keeps showing just so what's going on here? He seems like a very
normal
Joe Schmo kind of guy, but he also seems to be kind of slowly getting into it. So
it's going to be a theme today.
Yeah, but it's we're very kind of early on here. We're still kind of figuring out what all these different factions are, because you saw a little bit of that in the first issue where there's all these different communities. There was one group that almost looked like they were just dressed as vampires.
Oh, nice.
Before, I don't know if that was just
Vampire Masquerade makes it through the kaiju attacks.
Of course it would, but so it's just trying to figure out what's kind of a neat little background detail versus this is kind of seeding something coming down the line. And so they're captured by this cult. They fight this cult. The leader, she's referred to as Mother A. And she's very interesting because she kind of swaps between being kind of very authoritative, but also very oh, you're just kind of neat. What are you?
She's sure.
Yeah,
folksy.
They're, but also almost seems maybe has seen something similar to these guys before, which is interesting. But yeah, it definitely looks like she's going to be one of the main antagonists going forward here.
Very interesting.
But I'm really enjoying this book. We shouted out the first issue. Let me double check the art here. Pablo Tunica?
Yep.
Yeah, their art. I just love how exaggerated some of these character designs are. This guy, he's just instantly you already get a vibe.
I love the art in it.
Yeah, just as soon as you see him, you kind of you just kind of know what this kind of person's like. Yep. They just kind of the way you can just get that at a glance with a character just really tells you how much they're selling them. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying this. I had the previous week I had the new issue of Godzilla up here. I'll probably have Godzilla Starship up here when that happens.
Yep.
I think that's coming out at the start of next month.
That sounds right.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, these Godzilla books have been very fun, just a fun little twist on everything.
Yeah, it's a good time to be reading Godzilla comics. There's been so many.
Yeah. But speaking of books with fun little twists on things you know and love.
Yeah, so I went with Ultimates number 16, and I really had to narrow it down this week. It was a tough choice because there were so many good books and I enjoyed everything that I read. Ultimately, I went with Ultimates because this series has been, this whole universe has been really interesting, and they've done a really good job with those kind of little side story books. And this is one of those. So we see a handful of the members of the Ultimates, but they're just dressing for scenery in the story of this young gal, Ren. And we get kind of her life story in a nutshell in this one, and how she gets connected to the Ultimates and the Ultimate Network, or AltNet, right? Is that what they're calling it?
Yep.
And how I really dig this idea of how they're using technology to be able to connect people in a cause and allow them to kind of stay underground. But you know that because the Maker and his whole hierarchy and it's not really a government in that nobody else has a choice, but you know, the way that he's running the society of the entire world, the resources are so great. Like, how do you stay under the radar? And so this is a foray into the, I don't want to say foot soldier, but let's say person on the ground that's trying to make a difference in the world. And we get to see some, well, at least a 616 character and how their life was different in this reality. And it's sad. Yeah. It's very sad.
I mean, that's a lot of characters in this universe.
Oh, absolutely. This is not a good place to be if you're a freedom-loving individual or you care about other human beings in any other way, shape, or form. Yeah,
and I was talking to you a little about this before. Dennis Camp, the writer, he was talking about on Twitter yesterday in preamp for coming up, like, the main thing with this issue, because we've kind of seen a little bit of this, and especially in the most recent issues of the book, where a big part of it is like how the Ultimates are like trying to, like, it's not just about like, oh, superheroes doing their thing. It's about like galvanizing the populace, and how much this issue is about like, how does that kind of like build up and like start becoming something?
Right. Yeah, because, you know, we've seen a couple of attempts by the Ultimates already that have fallen flat on their face to try to gain some level of, I don't know, control isn't right, but like power within the system, some leverage against the Maker and the Maker's people before the Maker comes back, because the Maker's in the Maker sleep, I guess. So yeah, this was really interesting. It's sad. Like if you want, you know, all happy endings, sunshine, rainbows, kitties and puppies, this is not it.
Like it's funny.
It's
though,
not that dark though. I mean, it's dark.
Like
it's pretty dark.
It's dark, but like it points towards like where there's like a light at the end of the tunnel, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, for anybody who chooses to be part of a guerrilla movement, I think that a lot of times that kind of idealism of how well it's going to go is shattered at some point in time by the reality of, oh wait, I'm putting everything and everyone in my life at risk because of this. And so I don't know, it just had a lot of gravity, you know.
But along with that though, it also taps into the notion of just like there's more like people that you're connected with than you realize sometimes. Absolutely. Like there's like other people fighting the fight that you don't know about, and just like how like you build a community around that is very important.
Yeah. No, it really is a story about the human spirit. And I'm interested to see if we're ever going to get anything else with Ren. I kind of expect that this is maybe a one-off and they will appear in a panel somewhere else, but not really have much of their story after this point told, which is kind of nice.
Which honestly, if that's what happens, I'm fine with that, because it is just a nice little kind of like one and done. Like, this is like the effect on the ground that like these heroes are having on people.
Yeah, I like it. I think oftentimes publishers are really tempted to just have every single story have the faces of the characters that sell the most books as frequently as possible. All right, now having segued into, let's go with the consensus pick.
Not a shock.
Yeah.
So it's a Deadpool Batman. We've got, I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah.
So yeah, they teased they announced back in, I think it was like February or March, that like, DC Marvel are finally doing a crossover after 20 years, because last time was Justice League Avengers.
Yep.
And then wait a bit more, and they finally announced like they're doing 2 one-shots, a Deadpool Batman from Marvel and a Batman Deadpool from DC. Don't worry, it's been as confusing for everyone else trying to get signed up for these books as you can imagine. But it's finally here, and it's just a fun little book. It's like, because like there's only so much you can do, especially because like there's a bunch of other like stories in here besides the main one.
Right.
So it's just kind of like just fun situations we can put these characters in, and I think they do a good job with that.
Yeah. So I'll be honest, I wasn't super excited about this. You know, it seems like more of a gimmick than a story really worth telling.
I mean, it really is at the end of the day, but you can still make that a very fun gimmick.
Which is exactly what they did. They stayed in the lane. They didn't try to make it more than just a fun one-off, non-continuity story, which works really well with Deadpool. It made a lot of sense to have Deadpool be that character. And, you know, I was worried that there would be kind of a kitchen sink aspect to this, like, oh, you know, we're going to get everybody related to Deadpool and everybody related to Batman, and it's going to become this big mess, you know. And it was really a really tight story. Like,
I love how it's basically a fairly standard Batman story, but just by throwing Deadpool in, and just how everyone just kind of hates Deadpool. Like, no one's happy to see him, and it's really funny.
Yeah. I don't want to give too much away, but like the level of one-upping in this book was really good, and I like the way that Batman ultimately approached everything here. I thought that was funny. So yeah, it was really clever and fun. Zeb Wells and Capullo on the main book, or the main story rather, and then there's a bunch of backup stories. We get Green Lantern, Guardians of the Galaxy crossover,
which was it's only 2 pages, but it's very fun.
It was really funny. The big punchline at the end was set up really well too. You get Daredevil, Green Arrow, and there's Dark Knight Returns Wolverine one that was Frank Miller.
I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
I'm also one of those people that doesn't like, don't get me wrong, I get why people don't like it. I don't dislike his new art style as much as a lot of people do.
Wasn't necessarily the art style for me, but you know, whatever. It's a real quick short story, and you know, it's 3 pages or something. Yeah. So you know, what else are you going to do with it?
Crypto and Jeff Blanchard playing volleyball was very fun.
Yep. I knew I was forgetting one. Is that all of it?
There's Captain America and Wonder Woman.
Oh, the Captain America Wonder Woman.
Which that one is interesting because some of these,
there's a lot being implied in that.
Well, yeah, because it's because with that one they do the whole thing of just so most of these stories is just these characters are kind of neat thing here.
Yeah.
But that one's interesting because it does the thing similar to going back to Justice League Avengers issue 3 of that, the whole thing just what if the worlds were merged or could interact with each other, where this is just a timeline where what if the DC Marvel universes were just on the same Earth, so you get to see them interspersed with various big events from those, how and not just them, like you get to see other characters too. Like there's a panel of them like fighting Galactus, and it's just weird seeing like Starfire there shooting like star bolts at him. Like, yeah, but there's that. I don't know. This book is just like it's a lot of fun. Basically, you get to see a bunch of the toys thrown at each other in a really fun way.
Yeah. And there's tons of variant covers. So
yes, so many variant covers.
Yeah. This is it was worthwhile. Like I said, they didn't try to do more than just let it be what it needed to be. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it.
I'm very curious what they're going to do for the next one. Because that one, we're going to have Grant Morrison and Dan Mora reteaming from their Klaus days back at Boom, doing the story for that.
Yeah.
So they're already coming across kind of tongue in cheek in the solicits for it, where she's like, "Oh, it's Grant Morrison doing a weird thing." Like, it very much feels like they're going to be very tongue in cheek about that, which I like. So, but. Yeah, no, like this was very fun. I think the next one's probably going to also be a lot of fun.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Yeah, and I've got to think that the sales are going to be so good that they're going to try to do something additional.
They've already implied that they've got plans for something else. I wouldn't be shocked if they announced it at New York, since that's coming up next month, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it again illustrates me like, Marvel, please. I know Deke Ruin does great covers. Like this cover for Ultimates is great, but you really got to put him on more interior art. I love him in the Guardians Green Lantern story in here.
Oh, that was really okay. I didn't put two and two together there. No, that was super cool.
Yeah, no,
he's got a great Rocket Raccoon.
Oh yeah, no, he's one of those people where even if it's a book I don't care about, I kind of want to check it out just so I see that he might be doing interiors for it, because I just really like his stuff. So Marvel, please give him more work.
Absolutely. All right. Well, big week this week. We said we had trouble narrowing it down. So what was close to making it up here for you?
Oh, let's see. I really enjoyed this issue of Ghost Pepper. I think this book is really starting to hit its stride.
Sure.
Otherwise, New Gods is really good. We're kind of getting to the end of this whole first arc here. The book's going to be taking a little hiatus after issue 12 coming up here because they're V and Cagle are going to be working on some other stuff in the meantime. But the book isn't ending. But we are coming to like a pause for a bit here coming up. But no, that was good.
They never take hiatuses in the comic book world. What are you speaking of?
Hey man, if it means they get to like come back, like batteries recharge and everything, I'm okay with that. But no, that was good. We both really enjoyed Fantastic Four. I know that almost made it up here.
It was very, very close. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, I'll be honest, I haven't really been following the One World Under Doom stuff too much, but like this book, despite like being tied into that, you don't feel lost or anything. It just it feels like a very like, oh yeah, here's Fantastic Four. Here they've got like deal with whatever weird stuff Doom is doing right now. Like,
Ryan North just gets it. I don't know how else to put it. Just gets it.
Also, just man, Johnny continues to be fantastic.
He's so funny.
The bit in the Antarctic is
it's hilarious. And the payoff on the joke was really good. Should I tout this? This week we also have a whole bunch of reprints of issues, and we'll start with maybe the coolest ever.
So there's reprints of both Transformers and Void Rivals issue 1 with sound chip covers, and you may be wondering, well, what does that mean? Let me show you when you open it up here. Again, really, I presume that catches. You don't even really need to open the cover too much for it to start going at you. Yeah. But I don't know. I just think that's a really neat thing. Like that noise is like burned into the like core of my brain.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I think it's just a neat little gimmick, especially like, I mean, people are still buying these things. Like,
it's such a crazy, and it's a great time to kind of dive in because we're going to have that next creative crew taking over with the oversized issue number 25 coming out very soon.
Yeah. We got a bunch of reprints for Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yes.
I believe next week is Absolute Martian Manhunter and Absolute Superman are getting a bunch of reprints.
Yes.
Yeah, so a lot of that.
Yep. And then I think the week after that is Flash and Green Lantern.
Probably, at this rate.
Yeah. So if you've been missing out on some of those early issues for the Absolute books, there's a good opportunity for you. If you missed out on some of the early Ultimate stuff, we just got our restock on all the graphic novels for the entire Ultimate line, so come in and get those. And then we also got a bunch of graphic novels for Beneath the Trees when Volume 2 hit. The popularity worldwide apparently went through the roof, and we had a whole bunch of copies of that in stock. It sold out within 2 days, 3 days.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Of issue number 1 of Volume 2 coming out, and then we put a reorder in right away for the trade paperback, and they were on back order. So now they're back in stock. We've got a bunch of issues, and it's just a really good time. Captain America number 2 second printing came out this week. Reprinting for issue 1 was last week, I think, with issue 3 coming out.
I think so.
Yep. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff. We've got another Red Band book. Marvel Zombies came out this week. Last week was Punisher. Yeah. So just a ton of good stuff coming out. So many good things. Yeah, it's just a really great time to be reading. Yeah, so we've got Batman Days coming up this Saturday. So we've got some Batman Day stuff, some special issues, some special covers. Unfortunately, we had one of the covers, a bunch of them showed up damaged, so we've only got about half of them. So if you're looking for some of those Batman Day special foil covers, get in early on Saturday. We open at 11. And then... oh man, around the corner we've got the Halloween Trick or Read coming up, and we'll also have, presumably, Pokemon will have their Halloween packs coming out soon. I haven't seen anything for it yet, and I know that production's been tough on everything, so we'll see. But man, fall is here, man. It's time for some apple cider and pumpkin spice everything and sweaters, and although it doesn't feel like it the last couple days.
See, speaking of gimmicks, now I'm waiting for which company decides to do like pumpkin cider like comic variant covers.
Now that you put it out there into the universe,
I don't think I want that, but I know these companies. I know how much they like doing like a silly thing to get people to buy a book. It's going to happen.
It'll be better than the Scratch and Sniff Harley comic that came out a while back.
Oh. Yeah.
All right. Well, if you enjoy the video, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, comment, share. Stop into your local comic shop, whether you like these videos or not, because reading comic books is something that presumably you enjoy doing, and we all enjoy doing. And one way to keep that going for everybody is by supporting your local comic shops. One of the last few true bastions of small business and community-driven economy that's out there still. There are very few large retailers that do much of anything with periodicals in particular. So get into your local comic shop. We'll be back next week after reading a whole bunch more comic books with our takes. And until then, enjoy the reading. Hello and welcome to another edition of Pulp Picks. My name is Patrick.
I'm sorry, I had a burp coming up. And then decided to not want to happen.